Have you ever paused amidst the familiar comfort of your home, feeling the accumulation of years? Perhaps noticing the stairs seem a bit steeper, the rooms echoing with a touch more emptiness, and wondered, what's next? Maybe your hand wavers slightly as you pour your morning coffee, or the garden, once a source of joy, now feels like a task. Has the idea of a nursing home been suggested, a seemingly simple solution? But what if that isn't the only road ahead? What if the life you've carefully cultivated, the echoes of laughter within these walls, the love woven into every corner, doesn't have to transition into a sterile room dictated by someone else's schedule? Today, we're looking at nursing homes, uncovering their less obvious costs, and exploring vibrant alternatives that allow you to remain where your heart feels most at peace. Stay with me until the end, and we'll explore 8 empowering strategies to redefine your later years, not just endure them. And if you find this information helpful, consider sticking around for more content like this in the future. Let's begin by facing the truth about nursing homes. They aren't always the haven they appear to be. Let's pull back the curtain and confront the less advertised reality. Nursing homes often present themselves as safe havens, places where care is readily available, safety is a given, and your golden years unfold with grace. Brochures display smiling seniors engaged in activities or enjoying tea in sunlit rooms. However, step inside and the image often changes. The promise can falter under the weight of a harsher reality. Understaffing is a pervasive issue. Imagine a caregiver exhausted and responsible for a large number of residents. They are not uncaring, they are simply overwhelmed. A call button pressed in urgency might go unanswered for a while, not due to neglect, but because another resident needs to precedence. Medications are often administered on a strict schedule, a pill handed to you regardless of whether you're ready. Meals arrive at a set time, perhaps congealed oatmeal or lukewarm meatloaf, regardless of your appetite. Lights out at a specific hour, even if you've spent years enjoying late-night reading or stargazing. The rhythm of your life, the freedoms you once enjoyed, are replaced by a timetable you didn't choose. Then there's the loneliness, a creeping fog that settles in. Initially, visitors arrive, family and friends bearing gifts. But life is demanding. Visits become less frequent, consumed by work, school, or the simple exhaustion of daily life. Soon, it's just you, staring at the walls or a television. It's canned laughter, a stark contrast to the life you once knew. You become a name on a chart, a room number, a set of needs to be addressed. Staff may smile, may even know your favorite song, but they are quickly moving on. Before you sign over your assets, before your memories are packed away, pause. Consider the trade-off. Is this existence the final chapter you want to write? Is it worth sacrificing your independence for a promise that might not be kept? Investigate further, ask questions, visit unannounced, and listen to the experiences of those who are already there. The truth isn't always in the brochure. Consider Emily, a vibrant woman who loved gardening and hosting family gatherings. After a fall, her family, pressured by well-meaning friends, placed her in a nursing home. Emily quickly declined. The lack of familiar routines, the sterile environment, and the constant noise overwhelmed her. She missed her garden, her kitchen, and the simple act of choosing her own meals. Her family eventually realized their mistake and brought her home, where she thrived once more. Now let's consider holding tight to your home. It's more than just a building. Your home is more than just bricks and mortar, it's a living, breathing record of your life. Step into the kitchen. There's the mark on the counter from when you burned the toast, but mastered the roast. The living room floor creaks, each sound a reminder of children playing or pets chasing their tails. On the porch, you can almost feel the warmth of past sunsets, those evenings spent with loved ones, coffee in hand, as the sky turned orange and pink. Every corner holds a memory, a dent in the wall, a garden you tended, a window where you watched the snow. Leaving isn't just moving, it's uprooting. Research confirms this. Studies show that relocating the elderly from familiar surroundings can trigger a series of challenges. Depression can set in as you grieve the loss of control. Anxiety can increase as you struggle to navigate a new environment. Even memory can suffer as your brain tries to adapt without familiar landmarks. Packing up feels like dismantling your identity. The armchair that comforted you too big for the new space. The rosebush you nurtured left behind. Each item you can't take is a piece of your life that's being removed. But you don't have to let go, not yet. With some creativity, some support, perhaps some modifications to your home, you can stay where you belong. Home isn't just comfort, it's a lifeline. Studies show older adults who age in place often live longer, are happier, and maintain a stronger sense of self. Why trade that for a sterile environment and a stranger schedule? Your home is your fortress, your museum, your heartbeat. Fight to keep it. You've earned that much. Take, for instance, George, a retired carpenter who lived in the house he built with his own hands. After a heart attack, his children suggested a nursing home, but George refused. He installed a ramp, added grab bars, and hired a part-time aide to help with heavier tasks. He continued to tinker in his workshop, tend his vegetable garden, and welcome his grandchildren. He lived another 10 years, surrounded by the things he loved. Now let's talk about protecting your health. Home might be the safest place. Let's address a challenging truth that often remains unspoken. Nursing homes, while presented as places of care and comfort, can sometimes negatively impact your well-being. The risks are real and varied. Infections, such as pneumonia, MRSA, UTI, and even the flu, can spread easily in these facilities. Shared dining rooms, crowded hallways, and overworked staff create an environment where pathogens thrive, particularly among residents with weakened immune systems. The CDC reports that healthcare-associated infections affect a significant portion of hospitalized patients, and nursing homes often reflect these statistics. But the danger isn't limited to infections. There's also inactivity. In a nursing home, the daily activities that keep you active, like walking to the kitchen or gardening, often disappear. Instead, you might spend much of your time sitting or lying down, your days dictated by someone else's schedule. These small tasks that once kept you healthy are replaced by inactivity, leading to muscle loss and decreased energy. Research supports this. Studies have found that elderly individuals in institutional care settings experience a faster decline in physical function compared to those living independently at home. Even the mind suffers. Without the stimulation of familiar routines or the freedom to make choices, cognitive decline can accelerate. At home, you're in control. You're not just a number. Sure, there are still risks, but you can take steps to minimize them. A report from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors aging in place reported lower rates of depression and maintained physical capabilities longer than their peers in care facilities. Home isn't just a shelter, it's a lifeline. You can walk to the porch, tend a plant, or look through photographs. These aren't luxuries, they're essential. Turning your home into a safe haven doesn't require a miracle. It takes practical steps. Consider an air purifier to remove airborne particles. Imagine a decluttered living room free of hazards. Add regular visits from friends or family. Home becomes more than just a shelter, it's a defense against decline. Here, you're safer from both physical and emotional threats. You're free to live fully in a space that reflects your life. Consider Maria, a retired teacher with mild arthritis. She chose to stay in her home, adapting it with brighter lighting, non-slip rugs, and a raised garden bed. She hired a student to help with errands and stayed connected with friends through a senior center. She found that being able to make her own choices to continue her hobbies and to remain in her community was essential to her well-being. Now let's consider aging in place with purpose. Small changes can have a big impact. Aging in place isn't about rejecting the passage of time, it's about taking charge of your life on your own terms. It's not about trying to do everything you did when you were younger, it's about creating a life where your environment supports your needs. Imagine your home evolving with you. Grab bars in the bathroom, a stair lift, brighter lighting. These aren't signs of weakness, they're tools that help you maintain your independence. The magic is in the details, the small adjustments that make a big difference. A medical alert bracelet, a voice-activated assistant, smart sensors, a video doorbell, meal delivery services. These aren't just gadgets, they're tools that help you stay connected and in control. Aging in place doesn't mean being alone, it means creating a network of support. A home health aide, a neighbor, a grandchild, a local senior center. The key is agency. You decide who comes into your home, when they arrive, and what they do. A survey found that many adults over 50 wanted to remain in their homes as they aged, and those who did reported higher life satisfaction. Home isn't just a physical space, it's a place full of meaning. With thoughtful changes, your home can continue to support you with dignity, comfort, and independence. Think about John, a widower who loved to cook. After his wife passed away, he considered moving to a smaller apartment, but he realized that he couldn't imagine living without his kitchen. He hired a handyman to make some modifications, such as lowering the countertops and installing pull-out shelves. He joined a cooking club and continued to host dinner parties for his friends. He found that staying in his home allowed him to maintain his passions and his social connections. Now, let's talk building your team. Support doesn't mean surrender. Aging in place isn't about being completely self-reliant, it's about building a team of people who can help you stay where you want to be. This isn't about giving up control, it's about creating a support system that's tailored to your needs. Imagine a caregiver coming in a few times a week to help with tasks like cooking, cleaning, or laundry. Then there are home health aides who can provide medical care. But don't forget about your existing network. Your family, friends, and neighbors can all play a role. Research shows that seniors who age in place with a support network have better physical and mental health and emotional well-being. Loneliness also decreases. It's about staying connected to your community and maintaining your sense of self. You're not giving up control, you're sharing it with people who care about you. Think of yourself as the conductor of an orchestra. You call the tune and your team plays the notes. Consider Helen, a retired nurse who lived alone. She hired a part-time caregiver to help with errands and housework. Her daughter visited every Sunday and her neighbor checked in on her daily. She also volunteered at a local hospital and attended senior center activities. She found that having a strong support system allowed her to maintain her independence and her social connection. Now let's talk saving your nest egg. Nursing homes can drain it dry. Let's talk about money, because when it comes to aging, the costs can be significant. Nursing homes are expensive and they can quickly deplete your savings. The cost varies depending on where you live and the level of care you need, but it can range from several $1,000s a month. Over time, this can add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Medicare doesn't cover long-term custodial care. Medicaid is an option, but it requires you to spend down your assets. Imagine having to sell your home to pay for nursing home care. Instead, consider the cost of aging in place. Retrofitting your home, hiring a caregiver, and paying for occasional medical care can be significantly less expensive than a nursing home. You're not just saving money, you're preserving your world. The US Census says that many seniors want to stay home because it's cheaper and it's richer in everything that matters. Nursing homes drain your wallet, staying home fills your life. For example, consider Robert, a retired accountant. He carefully planned for his retirement, but he was still concerned about the cost of long-term care. He decided to stay in his home and hire a part-time caregiver. He also made some modifications to his home to make it more accessible. He found that he was able to maintain his independence and his quality of life while also saving money. Now let's guard your spirit. Stay the author of your story. There's a certain vitality in the simple choices that make up your day. Imagine waking up and deciding whether to have coffee or tea, whether to sit on the porch or read in your favorite chair. These aren't just routines, they're the brushstrokes of your life. In a nursing home, those choices are often taken away. Someone else decides what you eat, when you sleep, and what activities you participate in. Psychologists have found that this loss of control can lead to depression, anxiety, and even physical decline. At home, you remain in control. Even if you need help, you can still make your own choices. You can choose what to eat, what to wear, and how to spend your time. These acts are essential to your identity. Aging isn't about giving up, it's about rewriting the script. Consider Sarah, a retired artist. She was determined to stay in her home, even though she had some physical limitations. She hired a caregiver to help with some tasks, but she continued to paint every day. She found that being able to express her creativity was essential to her well-being. Finally, take your time. Don't let fear rush you. Sometimes life throws you curveballs. Maybe it was a fall, a diagnosis, or a difficult conversation with your doctor. Fear can take over, pushing you to make a quick decision. But you don't have to let fear write your next chapter. Stop, take a breath, and consider your options. Talk to your doctor, a social worker, and a financial advisor. Explore the possibilities. Listen to your gut. A choice made in haste can lead to a life that doesn't fit. A decision made with care can open doors you didn't see. You've earned the right to shape what comes next. As we finish this discussion, take a moment to reflect. Your home, your life, it's still yours to shape. Aging isn't the end of your story, it's a chance to write a new chapter filled with purpose and choice. What have you learned today? I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might help someone else. And if you found this information valuable, consider showing your support for more content like this. Let's keep this conversation going, because your future deserves more than a quick fix, it deserves careful consideration.